Hello, and welcome to Feeding Our Young podcast. My name is Brooke. I am now an RN, former CNA. Joining us is Owen and Bodie from my patio in Salem. Eric found me on an Oregon Coast community Facebook group. He was a creepin', but he was not a scammer, and it's okay. He does not have my social or debit or credit card, so I think I'll be safe. And here is our man, our myth, the legend, Eric Miller, the registered nurse of nearly 20 years and an adjunct clinical instructor. All right, guys, welcome to Feeding Our Young podcast.
Hello, and welcome back to the second episode of the Brooke Peterson RN experience. I loved the intro. That was fantastic.
Oh, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Okay, so not creeper me. Let's not. We're not gonna go down that road again. Go back to the first episode if you somehow skipped it, and find out what the heck we're talking about. How we know quote unquote know each other. Gosh, Brooke, we go way back. We're now an hour and a half or so deep into knowing each other. Yeah, it's rock solid here, people.
Hey, you did send me some uplifting NCLEX texts.
Yes, I did.
Nice.
Well, so when you said I'm taking the test on the 7th and hopefully I'll have good news when we record on the 11th, I was like, okay. And this was like weeks before, and I'm going, I have to remember 7/7. I gotta send that encouraging
so
text.
Nice.
Well, I love, like, I don't know, with this little Feeding Our Young thing, like, to me, I'm like, I don't feel like we've been around enough that it's like a community. Like, I don't feel like it's this large burgeoning community or anything like that. But to me, the personal, like, just, it feels like a community. If I see that one of my honored guests is having a birthday, man, I'm texting.
Tell them happy birthday.
Yeah. And it was the same thing. I'm like, well, I don't know Brooke, and Brooke doesn't know me, but obviously she trusts me. So now I'm going to treat her like I will anyone else. Okay. So enough about that. Let's find out more about Brooke. So let's, I like to open the second one with some nice lighthearted, let's get to know a little bit more about you. But a couple of the icebreaker questions that you chose to answer. What is your superpower?
My nursing superpower would be braiding hair. You ask anyone I've ever worked with, I am very good at dematting and braiding that hair.
Dang! And that's the first time I've ever heard that. I love it. I absolutely love it. If you could have a meal with one person, dead or alive, who would that be and why?
Frida McFadden, which is my favorite author of all time. She writes thrillers. Love her.
Oh.
Yeah. She's also a physician that specializes in I can't speak. Brain injuries and like brain stuff. So, yeah.
And she just happens to write on the side.
Yeah, 10 out of 10 would recommend. Oh
my gosh. Okay, well, I'm going to have to check her out. I grew up on Stephen King.
Oh, I love Stephen King.
Okay.
I need to change my answer.
No, that's okay. So, then now the question is, what you were going to give me a recommendation for Frida, so we'll circle back around to that. But what is your favorite, like, what's your favorite Stephen King stuff?
Probably the big one. Everybody loves it.
I knew I liked you for a reason. I read that. Go ahead.
Every single book that has ever became a TV show or a movie, I have watched it.
Nice. No, I grew up middle school is when I started reading Stephen King, and judge my parents. I don't know, judge anyone can whatever, but because it's pretty messed up. He that guy has got some messed up stuff in his books.
I do like The Shining too.
Oh, so good.
Another classic. Yeah.
The Shining, truly, like, that one I had to read with the light on. And it, though, what I loved about it is one of the finest, I don't want to say finest pieces of literature, but it is one of the finest examples of character development, because he fleshes out, I mean, a lot of the audience, maybe you've seen the movies at this point, but in the book, he goes back and forth 30 years from when they were kids to when they're in their adults, and to get not only to flesh out characters, but to flesh them out in their youth and then to totally see what they look like as adults and middle age and all the problems that go with that. I appreciated it as the teen version, and now that I'm in my like 40s and all that business, I'm like, dang, how did he do that? I don't understand.
He's amazing.
Wow. Okay, and sorry,
I
your
love him.
recommendation, your Frida recommendation.
Never Lie. That's my favorite one. But I also love the Housemaid series.
Never Lie and the Housemaid series.
Yes.
Okay, there it is.
So
There's your
good.
recommendation, everybody.
I read Never Lie in like a day. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
know
going to
it's
do something
getting out
like
of
that
mess.
today since I am now a nurse and don't ever have to study for the NCLEX.
Amen. Hallelujah. You need to let that brain like relax.
I know. I've been doing a
Oh.
puzzle.
Oh, okay. So how big and what is it?
I don't know. It's like flowers and green stuff and sky.
How many pieces? That's what I mean. Sorry.
1,000.
Oh my goodness. That's your form of relaxation. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. I'm an 80-year-old at heart.
All right. Well, 80-year-old, newly minted nurse Brooke. So, I mean, that leads into the other question I was going to ask, which is what are the other hobbies you now get to partake more in now that you don't have to consume your time studying?
Yeah, hiking. Love hiking. Owen and Bodie love hiking. Kayaking. And I newly found gardening. I have like 15 dahlias growing, and I got some cucumbers and squash and tomatoes. So yeah, but I'm new at it, so we'll see how it goes.
And you're going to be new at gardening while being new at nursing, and you're
Yeah,
going to be amazing at both. That's fantastic.
thanks.
So we've already clearly established in episode 1, we are now talking to Brooke Peterson, the nurse, RN, having passed the NCLEX. If somehow you skip the first episode, double back. She gives incredible advice and just tells us her story about how she went through the NCLEX. And sorry, again, this is an audio-only podcast. Video, this is great. There's birds, cawing overhead, as it is Oregon. And she's looking up at them, and I'm just laughing because I'm like, you won't hear it in the background, everybody, but it's great. And I can hear them, and it makes me want to go back. Okay, so... But as we've established that that's the case, nursing school, so you graduated from a community college, meaning you have your 2-year degree, correct?
Yes, I have an ADN.
Beautiful. And so your associate's degree in nursing, your ADN. And again, FYI, everybody, anyone who's newly listening, we make the distinction here that there is no distinction between being an ADN and a BSN when it comes to your ability to care for your patients. Like, I don't care if you have a 2-year degree or 4-year degree, you are still going to sit for those boards, and you are going to be an incredible, amazing nurse if you're giving it your all. So we need to make that clear right off the bat. But 2 years in college, learning how to become a nurse. I'm going to turn the mic over to you. I'm going to do my best to shut this mouth, and I want you to tell us all about your nursing school experience, your highs, your lows, what you loved, what, you know what I mean? Just take us on a journey, will you?
All right. Well, my most favorite part about nursing school was probably the friends I made, and my cohort was honestly very, very tight. Everybody knew each other. Everybody helped each other out. But also just like my main study group, we had our little group message and keeping each other in the loop, reminding each other of due dates, all that fun stuff, and rocking out to our music before every exam. I love my people and they know who they are. What I love most about nursing is probably the most cliche answer, helping people. I love helping people. What else do you want to know?
You're like, and that's it. That's what I want to share about nursing school.
That's all.
No,
That's all I gotta say.
but what I
It's
was
in the
going to
past.
say is, I love that. You know what I mean? Like, again, you and I going way back a couple hours. It is evident your love of taking care of people. And have you always had that, or was that even more fostered as your time as a CNA?
More fostered as my time as CNA. Yeah. Honestly, in high school, I was kind of like the kid in the back of the classroom. I didn't have the best grades, and my family is all probably very shocked that I became a nurse, but I am a nurse, if you didn't know.
Guys, well, hold
Yeah,
on. Brooke, are you a nurse now?
I am an RN.
You are an RN. Well, no, then let me ask you that then. And as far as you say you weren't the best student in high
Oh
school,
yeah.
all that. How do you make that jump? How do you overcome that in nursing school?
Learning how to study and being organized. Yeah, I think that before I did not, even with my prerequisites, I did not know how to study and manage my time. That's why I failed anatomy and had to retake it.
Hmm.
But I figured out real quick that I needed to study. My top recommendation for nursing school is to the people find people to surround yourself with. They are the only people that really know what you're going through. I mean, you can have your partner and your kids or whoever, but they really don't know what you are going through. So yeah. Also, keeping a schedule will make you a lot more organized. I had like a written calendar. I had a thing on my phone to that like reminders for assignments or exams, and then also a little to-do list that I could check things off because it's just satisfying to check things off and it makes you feel more accomplished. So,
Hmm.
yeah. And then how I studied, I used a lot of resources on YouTube. My most favorite was Registered Nurse RN. She's awesome. Nurse Sarah. I also got the book off of Etsy called Nurse in the Making. I'm pretty sure that's what it was called. But I think it was like the most used thing I used to study throughout all of nursing school. And she also has YouTube and TikTok videos, like short little videos, which is nice. And I also used Simple Nursing. Uh, but those are the main resources I used during nursing school. And then I would type all of my little notes into documents. And I liked comparing and contrasting things, like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
comparing different diseases because it kind of helped me just to see like the key points of each diagnosis or whatever. So, yeah.
Because again, you know what I mean. Like you're giving practical advice. As someone who is self-admittedly wasn't a great high school student, you can expound on
Oh,
that too
yeah,
if
I
you
was
want. What
not.
what does that mean? Like just not disciplined, not a good academic student. Like what?
I didn't study. Like, I
Ah,
just kind of rode through C's, get degrees, and yeah, that's how I
yeah.
was in high school. Um, Okay, so an example, let's look at my endocrine example. So
There we go.
I would like compare hyper versus hypothyroidism in a little table next to each other. And I would say the causes, the signs and symptoms, the labs you might see, and then how a nurse would treat the patient. So like treatment or nursing interventions. And
Hmm.
yeah. That's how I studied. And then I would use a little whiteboard and do active recall. So, do you know what active recall is?
No. What is active recall, Brooke?
Active recall is I would write everything I knew about one thing on the whiteboard. So, you're active recalling the information. And then once I wrote every single thing I knew about whatever it was, I would check my notes and see what I missed. So,
Hmm. Very
yeah,
cool. Very
I feel like
cool.
that helped me a lot.
Awesome. That's incredible. So with that, then I
Mhm.
nursing school is obviously very stressful. So these
Mhm.
are incredible practical tips for how to get through nursing school, how to study, and all the things. How did you deal with the stress of nursing school? And was that easier to deal with because you've been a CNA? You know what I mean? Did that help with that?
I dealt with stress by taking a bath almost every night. Bath bombs and bubble bath. Self-care is very important, so do self-care. And I know they say that, and you're gonna be like, oh my God, I have no time for self-care.
Mm-hmm.
But you have time for self-care. You just have to find it. Um,
And I
yeah,
even
that's how I feel.
I'll do you one better. You have to make time for it, right?
Yeah, you do because you cannot take care of somebody else if you're not taking care of yourself. So
Hmm.
I feel like that's pretty practical advice, not just for nursing school, but nursing in general. Self-care.
Incredible.
Yeah.
So, what was your favorite part of nursing school then? I mean, I think I know where you're going with this, but what was your favorite part?
Okay, my favorite part of nursing school was probably my last term of nursing school, because I did a capstone. You know what capstone is? Where
For
you're
the benefit of those that don't, go ahead and explain.
okay. You get assigned to one nurse. At least that's how my school did it.
Mhm.
You get assigned to one nurse in one department and you follow them for however many hours you need. So I was assigned with my nurse for 165 hours in the ICU, and I loved her so much, and I have never felt as confident in myself as I did that last term because you're kind of
Mm.
it's different than like regular clinicals
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like you're actually the nurse, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I tell my students, like, you're the students that I have as an adjunct, right? You're somewhere along the span of I'm doing this and caring for people and learning how to become a nurse. But I tell them, you know what I mean? Give yourself grace, all the things. Where it all comes together is that capstone or practicum experience. I've heard 4 years typically will call it practicum, 2 years typically capstone, or there's another name for it, and it escapes me at the moment. But that is the time, nursing students, where everything that you're learning on the clinical side of things and in the classroom really come together. Brooke,
Hmm.
would you be able to confirm for me what I tell my students? Is it true that that is the time where all the pieces start congealing into what it is
Yes.
actually means to be a nurse?
Yes. You know what you're doing. Well, hopefully you know what you're doing, but it all comes together. Like what you learned in the classroom, you see it in the real world, and now you're doing things. Everything really comes together during the final term of nursing school. You're going to go into your capstone, and at first you're going to feel like, oh my God, I have no idea what's going on. But you are going to get more confident throughout the term and throughout nursing school, period. So,
For sure. And I think that also speaks to, like, it's where is it really kind of the first time that you feel like you're the one over the course of your capstone or practicum, you're the one making the decisions with the guidance of your nurse. You're like, hey, I feel like we
yeah,
should see this patient first. We should do this, and kind of that time management piece. Yes.
yeah, yes. And the nurses that take students during capstone, from my understanding, at least where I went, it was they had to say they wanted to do that. So it's hard to have a bad experience. Like these nurses want to teach. So I think that also quality making an appearance.
Wait, no, Bodhi, do you agree or disagree? What do are you? You're confirming what your mama's saying,
Bodhi's
right?
confirming.
I love it. I love it.
He agrees.
But no, and that's, I mean, that's it. That is kind of, that's the whole purpose of capstone slash practicum, right? All the things is to pull it all together, get the best opportunity to be a nurse without being a nurse under the license of another nurse, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
I agree.
incredible. So then, have you ever questioned in nursing school, did you ever go, I picked the wrong profession?
Um, yeah, I thought I was too stupid. Like, I sucked in high school. How am I gonna be good now? You know?
Yeah.
I think that the first year was a lot more rough for me than the second year. I doubted myself a lot and I just thought there's no way I can do this. Like, I'm stupid. I
Mm.
don't know what I'm doing. But honestly, the second year is where it all came together. I was like, yeah, I know. I know what a stroke is. I know what be fast means.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And you're building off your previous successes.
yeah, I agree.
Thank you for being open with that because again, you know what I mean? I go back to the very first episode. Anyone who wants to listen to the first episode, like I remember distinctly going, I have chosen the wrong profession. This is
Oh yeah,
awful. Like,
even like having failed anatomy, I was like, there's no way I can be a nurse if I failed anatomy and physiology. I am gonna be the most stupid nurse, and I don't know what bone is what. But I got through it. I kept my head up, and just there's no shame in having to retake classes or return again in nursing school. I know many people that have failed nursing school in the past, and they have been or they are going to be the most amazing nurses. And
mm-hmm,
there's nothing to be ashamed of.
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Can you open the door to that a little bit as far as you failing anatomy? You took it in Idaho, I'm assuming, prereqs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you fail anatomy and physiology. Like, what? How do you decide to just keep going? You know, was there a moment where you're like, well, nope, this is it, I'm done? Like, how did you overcome that obstacle?
I don't even know. I feel like that was a lifetime ago. um,
It was. You weren't a nurse back then.
I know. I'm a nurse now. Um, how did I get through that? I honestly don't even know because I was very sad, but it's okay. I took it with a different teacher, thought that might help. And I think that did make a big difference. He was a very good teacher.
Hmm.
But how did I get through that is a good question. I
Yeah.
don't know how I got through that, Eric.
Well, and it sounds like, I mean, you sound like a person who doesn't give up easy.
Yeah, yeah. I kind of just like kept my head up and got over the shame, there's nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah.
Just have to get over it.
It was just last
That
night.
sounds dramatic, but
No. Just last night there was and I get these positive like motivational memes that come through. Partially, I think because I share them, and so then the algorithm's like, well, okay, here's some more. But I love it for myself personally, and the one that I love is there's two targets. And there's some people think failure looks like this, and it's three or
hmm
four arrows all missing the bullseye. When failure actually looks like this, and it's a target with no arrows on it.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
everybody has their own journey, and it doesn't matter how you get there, but you get there.
Yeah.
So yeah, just keep your
Ah,
head up.
ah, keep your
There's
head
my
up, everybody.
motivation.
I love it. Like I said, I barely know you, and I'm motivated by you. So thank you,
Oh,
thank you. I imagine Brooke, not the nurse, was just as motivating as now Brooke, the nurse, right?
yeah, yeah, I hope so.
Well, then, awesome. So, with that, what does the future hold for Brooke RN?
Brooke RN is going to be starting her new grad position at the end of July in Salem, Oregon, on the
Ooh.
neurotrauma unit. So,
Why neurotrauma? How'd that come to be?
I really like the neuro stuff. When I was a CNA in home health, I had multiple patients that were paralyzed. I had like three men I cared for and would help them with their ADLs. And
Hmm.
I really enjoyed working with those guys. And I felt like that was like the most rewarding CNA job I had. Also, coming from long-term care, I've dealt with a lot of like long-term long-term stroke patients, you know what I
Right.
mean? Or dementia. I did a, I've had a lot of dementia patients as well in home, and I like them. And also, my mother, the first year of my nursing school, she had a stroke. The last month of nursing school, she had a stroke. The same week I was learning about strokes. Uh,
Stop.
yeah, she was only like 53 or something like that.
Oh my gosh.
Hopefully I didn't age her because I know she'll listen to this.
Well, I'll censor that out, Mom,
Yeah,
if that's
sorry, Mom.
what we want to do there.
Oh,
I mean,
that's
is
okay.
she okay? Like, you know what I mean?
Yes,
Like,
she is
yeah.
completely fine. I drove to Boise real quick, and
Hmm.
she was okay. She had a subarachnoid hemorrhage.
Mm.
Um, They don't know what caused it. It was an idiopathic one. Those
Wow.
doctors are idiots. I can't figure it out. That's how I remember idiopathic.
Idiopathic. We have no clue. No idea.
But yeah, she has no long-term like residual effects. She is completely fine, which is a
Miraculous.
blessing.
Yeah.
She's a lucky lady.
So, not that I don't care about your mom. So glad that absolutely, you know what I mean, that there was no long-term sequela from that.
Mm-hmm.
But from the perspective of this podcast, how do you get that news, you said, in your first year? So first year, near the end of your first year. So your first year, you've already established you were having doubts about yourself and all the things. And then on top of this, now you get this phone call, right? Like, how do you deal with that while trying to maintain whatever semblance of life you have in nursing school?
Oh my gosh, I don't even know. I mean, she lives in a different state, so it's not like I could just like go 30 minutes, you know? So I emailed all my professors. I was like, yeah, my mom has a stroke or something's going on with her, because I didn't really know at the time. So I went to Idaho, brought all my stuff and everything, and she was in the neuro ICU for like maybe 7 days. But she was a walkie-talkie patient, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
She wasn't
What do
a
you
real
mean by
ICU
walkie-talkie patient?
Walkie-talkie, she wasn't intubated and sedated.
Yeah.
She was walking around talking.
Yeah.
How did I deal with that? Not healthily, I don't think. I drink alcohol. You might have to edit that out. I don't know.
Oh, we've talked about
Not
alcohol on this podcast before, 100%. Yes.
Positive Brooke. That's how
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I had a strong front. Everybody's always asking me questions because now I'm a nurse. So my dad, I'm like talking to my dad, and I'm like, so what are they doing? Oh, when she was in the hospital, and he's like, I don't know. They're putting the baby thing where they look for the baby. They're putting it on her head, and I'm like, an ultrasound? And he's like, yeah, that sounds right.
Oh.
Like, okay.
Oh.
But yeah.
I love it. And I mean, and you know, right? Like they teach you in nursing school. Be ready, because everybody's going to be like, Brooke, what's this rash?
Oh my gosh, Eric. Okay, so my mom and my sister came to visit me for graduation not too long ago, like a month ago. And have you ever been to Silver Falls?
No.
Silver Falls State Park. It is so beautiful. It's got it has a trail with 10 different waterfalls on it. So I show this hike to my mom, and she's like, yes, let's do it. So we go on it. Oh my God. And I haven't even been out of school like 3 days. And she falls at Silver Falls, and she got a giant gash, and ended up having 12 stitches. But yeah, so I cleaned out her wound in the bathroom at the park, and then a park ranger took us back to my car, and we went to urgent care. And yeah, she got 12 stitches. And then she went back home, and it got infected, and she had to stay a few nights in the hospital. So my mom is like the expensive hospital patient, apparently.
Your mom is just doing everything she can to reinforce your nursing education, right? Yes.
She just wanted to make sure I knew. But last night she calls me. She's like, does my wound look okay? I'm like, girl, I don't know. I'm not even really a nurse.
You say, and what we're trained to say, right, is contact your provider.
Yep.
Oh,
exactly.
That's amazing. Well, Brooke, this has just been so delightful, and just talking to you and literally, I guess, picking you out of a lineup, right? Isn't that a saying? Like, you pick someone out of a lineup. Like, I literally see pictures of someone who just graduated, and here we are talking about nursing.
Shout out to Melissa Webb.
Shout out to Melissa Webb if you are in the, gosh, what area does she serve? Just Western Oregon?
Salem and also the coast.
Yeah.
She's so awesome.
Hit up Melissa Webb for your photos. I've actually already asked her about family photos for the next time we go.
Photos. We also got mother-daughter photos on the same photo shoot. So
yeah,
it was
I love
super
that.
fun.
Uh, well, is there, before we wrap up with the traditional questions, is there anything that we didn't cover at all that you want to make sure that you are sharing with anyone about your personal experience through nursing school before and after?
I don't think so. Just keep your
Okay.
head up. You
Just
got this.
keep your head up. Keep your head up, everybody. Even when it's as heavy as a 1,000 pound head, like you just feel like,
Yeah,
oh my gosh, I can't do this. I can't do this. You
but
can
you
do it.
can. You can.
Yes. And you too can become a what nerd? What, Brooke?
An RN.
An
Nurse.
RN. You can have an RN after your name as well. So, Brooke, you chose
Yes.
3 words to describe nursing school. What were they and why did you pick them?
Okay. Stressful. Stressful because we are constantly learning and feeling like we're running from a bear the entire time. Um, yeah. Balancing life and clinical and self-care, but we get through it. So it is rewarding in the end. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
That's my second word. Overcoming all of your accomplishments, and you will get to the end goal, no matter how many bumps in the road you have. You're gonna get there. And then transformative. I feel like a whole different person than I was before nursing school. Like yeah, I don't know why. I just do. I'm a nurse.
Yes, you are. You
I
are
feel
now
more positive, and I have more respect for life. And yeah,
incredible. That's
yeah,
incredible. I love it. And then, if you had one piece of advice, other than keep your head up, everybody keep your head up, right? If you had one last piece of advice for anyone listening to your episodes, what would that be?
find good people to surround yourself with. Um, find your study group, or yeah, find your nursing school friends that know what's going on with you.
I usually leave you with the last word on that, but it does make me think and wonder. It's something I wanted to ask you earlier because
Yeah.
that's something that is kind of a common theme for you throughout the whole thing. Has that always come easy to you, or how did you find your
No.
people in nursing school? How would you do that?
Okay. Well, I had an orientation before nursing school, and I sat down to one of my most favorite new friends. Well, new as in 2 years new, which is crazy because I feel like I just started nursing school, but
Yeah,
I'm a nurse now. So,
you're a nurse
I
now.
sat, I sat next to my friend Jesus. We sat next to each other at orientation, and that's kind of just how we became friends. And then one of my other very good friends, Brianna Bree, um, I just messaged her on Teams, which is what we used at school, and I was like, "Hi, can we study?" And yeah, just put
Uh,
yourself out there. And
Done.
then my other good friend Daniel, we all just kind of sat next to each other in class, and that's kind of how it
Mm-hmm.
happened. And
Yeah.
then we would study together, and yeah,
I like that bit about putting yourself out there though, because like
yeah,
that's like to me that's always come easy to me. But and I know I recognize it doesn't come easy to everyone. But the
yeah. It
idea of
doesn't
like,
come easy to me. I would say I'm a socially awkward human, but I don't know.
but you did
Yeah,
it, and you're
yes,
grateful you did it because now
yes,
you
I
have these
am because
friendships.
I've got some lifelong friends, and I truly do hope they're my lifelong friends.
And for anyone out there like I couldn't do that, I couldn't do that. Let me offer this little piece of advice because you're sitting there going, like you said, you just hey, you wanna study
You
together?
want to study?
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? That's your intro. And someone may say, "Oh no, thank you." And maybe it's because they have a full-on family and life, and they can't. You know, who knows?
Yeah,
But the point
everybody
is,
has their own situations.
yeah,
Yeah.
if you're terrified to ask, I promise you, that person, one of the people you're asking, is equally terrified and are probably going to be grateful that you're the one that took the initiative.
And what's the worst that could happen? They could say no.
They
That's
could
it.
say no, and
And
then
what's the
you're
best? You could have a new BFF.
a new
Nursing
RN,
school,
RN BFF, nursing school BFF.
nursing school trauma bond.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Brooke, I can't thank you enough. This is a Friday morning that you're taking time out, just chilling, relaxing, and talking
Yeah.
nursing after becoming a nurse.
Yes, I'm a nurse.
I'm gonna go find that book you recommended, and in the meantime, I hope you keep in touch. Like this
Oh,
is,
yeah.
if anything, and I've talked to some people about this, but if down the road you're willing to do another episode, I have this envisioning for like a Where Are They Now? So it'd be
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
like, how did Brooke transition into practice? What does that look like now?
All things new grad.
Yes, you down for that down the
Oh,
road?
yeah. Yeah.
You heard it here first, everybody. I have it on recording. I'm not even deleting this. This is it.
Signing a waiver.
Well, Brooke, I can't thank you enough. I hope you have a most amazing rest of your Friday.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. Here's what's happening on the next episode of Feeding Our Young.
And so my advice is to all of the listeners listening in right now is try not to assume and always advocate for what you think is best for you and your disabilities. And when I took the NCLEX the second time around, I passed because I believe I did have enough time to do enough questions to prove that I was a safe nurse. And when I called the accommodations line, they ended up approving it so quickly. I think it took like a day, less than a day for it to get
Really?
approved. Yeah.
Oh,
And
that's so cool.
I know, exactly. So it really didn't take as hard to get my accommodations approved than I thought.
Did you like today's episode of Feeding Our Young? Let today's honored guest know by emailing us at thanks@feedingouryoung.org. Also, if you are a nursing student, nurse, or a nursing instructor and would like to be featured on a future episode, please email us a few details about yourself at the very special email address mystory@feedingouryoung.org. If you have a question you would like addressed in a future Q&A episode, please send it to q@feedingouryoung.org. For all other inquiries, please email us at info@feedingouryoung.org or text us at area code 509-ALL-THEM, 509-255-8436. We're so excited to have you return to hear our next honored guest. Be sure to follow us on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Feeding Our Young LLC. Again, that's username Feeding Our Young LLC. Until next time, be encouraged and go find someone to encourage today.